All right. Let's take a look at the markets today, folks. April 13th, 2022. Wow, we're actually getting a little bit of a pump today. This time yesterday, we were about 39.7, 39.5. Now we just pumped back up to 41,000. Typical bear market stuff. We're going to be seeing this range probably between 38 to 45, probably for the rest of the year. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Definitely, I do believe we're in a bear market, like I've been saying, but I do think we're going to see some pretty big swings in the next 6 months to a year. Um, Altcoins not really pumping as hard as Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance up a little bit, and most people are basically putting their money into Bitcoin. Typical bear market stuff, although you are seeing some altcoins coming up a little bit. Solana was at about $1.10 a couple days ago, so Solana's down a little bit. But overall, the altcoins, I mean, you could make the argument that they're holding compared to Bitcoin, but what I'm seeing is basically overall weakness in the altcoin market. I'm trying to find if there's anything really that's actually pumped. I mean, Shiba pumped yesterday off the Robinhood listing, but now it's kind of dumping a little bit. But you know, Shiba does what Shiba's going to do. That's kind of a pump and a dumper. But you know, Litecoin up a little bit. Litecoin is a coin that's really weird. If Bitcoin is pumping, Litecoin will usually pump. I'm seriously considering, as much as I'm not a huge fan of Litecoin, while in the bear market, actually picking up some Litecoin just to hold it, almost as a hedge, because owning Litecoin at this level, and preferably under $100, is basically kind of like holding Bitcoin. And the only difference is it'll pump a lot harder than Bitcoin. It'll also dump a lot harder. I wouldn't want to be holding Litecoin if Litecoin was like $200 or $300 right now, but at about $100. Litecoin probably won't dump in the bear market much below $70. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, even though the last bear market had dumped down to like $20 or $30, but I think this time it's going to have a bottom of about $70, and it's been pumping pretty good along with Bitcoin. What else is up today? Yeah, I mean, everything's kind of basically holding. Bitcoin Cash up because you know, Bitcoin Cash is another one that pretty much follows Bitcoin. What's Cardano up to today? VeChain back down to 6 cents. I might pick up some VeChain under 5 cents. VeChain's one of those coins I held in the past, and I haven't been holding it, and I kind of regret not holding it because it pumps really, really hard. Where's Cardano? Cardano 96 cents. Yesterday, Cardano was about 98 cents, and that was when Bitcoin was at about 40,500. So now Bitcoin's over 41,000, and Cardano is still holding around 96 cents. So right now, your winner is going to be Bitcoin. So here's what's going to happen, folks. If Bitcoin can pump above $42,000 and hold above $42,000, after that, you're going to see a major pumping of the altcoins. If Bitcoin gets rejected at like say 41.5 or $42,000 and it gets rejected hard, we're just going to go right back down to 39,000, and all these altcoins, the little bit of gains you're seeing right now in these altcoins, it's going to basically be completely wiped away. Let's see what's going on with the metaverse today. Oh, Theta's still hanging out around $3. That's actually not too bad for Theta. What's Falcon Forge doing and everything else? But Falcon Forge is doing pretty good too. See, the metaverse coins are actually holding up somewhat well, which is surprising. So we're kind of in no man's land right now. Here's what I'm doing, folks, and I've been saying this for a long time. I think odds are we're about halfway through a bear market. Bitcoin had a high of $67,000. Now it's back down to 41. I think it hit a low of like what, 33, 34 like a couple months ago. So Bitcoin's already had its 50, 60, 65% dump. Most of these altcoins have already had their 70, 80% dump. You know, Cardano hit what, 305, and then it dumped down to, I think it was 75 cents. Was it last month it was 75 cents? So most of these coins have already had a big dump. Can they dump further? Absolutely. If you buy one of these altcoins right now, no doubt it could easily dump another 30%. But I don't think they're going to dump much more than that. I think they've already had their major dumps. I think we're just going to be in this range for the next year. I'm looking at 2022 as the year of accumulation, the year to prepare to be a millionaire in 2024. It's a great time to get into the market. If I had, like, say, $10,000 to invest right now, I'd probably put half in right now, and the next dump I just put the rest in, and then I would just sit and I'd wait for 2 years. That's pretty much what I would do. Everything right now is kind of doing what you would expect it to do. There's nothing kind of out of the ordinary. The news around Bitcoin is good. There's really no negativity around Bitcoin. I mean, you got the interest rates, which will affect the stock market. And the stock market today is actually up a little bit, which is probably the reason Bitcoin's up a little bit, to be honest with you. Bitcoin kind of does follow the stock market, but there's just no bad news. Last bear market, every other day there was bad news coming out about Bitcoin. It would dump, and then you had COVID dump. There's just no bad news other than like Celsius and BlockFi and the government coming after stable coins, which was to be expected. I mean, those interest rates on stable coins are pretty much a threat to the bank. So if you're an American, you really couldn't expect that to last too much longer. I actually took all my money out of BlockFi and Celsius a month ago because I just didn't trust it. It's just not even worth it. You just have to understand it as an American. If you want to make money in interest rates, you just have to use like DeFi. If you use any of these centralized exchanges to try to make high interest on your stable coin, eventually they're just going to shut you down, and it's just not even worth it. But I'm just not seeing anything negative. We had the big dump. We had the Cardano at $3 and it dumped down to $1.70. We had the Solana dump down to 70 cents. We had everything dump. We had Terra $100 and it dumped down to $40. Now it's at 86. Like, everything's had its major dump. Not to say everything's not going to dump another 30%. I think that's a high probability. I really think the Bitcoin needs to go down to at least $30,000 to flush out a lot of this garbage. But whether you buy now or buy when things are 20, 30% lower, is it really that big of a difference? And say we don't go down another 20 or 30% and you completely miss out, then you're buying Bitcoin at 60,000, you're buying your Cardano at $2. I mean, you're buying your XRP at $1, your Solana at 175. I think now's just the time to be in the market and just wait. If you want to trade with a few $1,000s, that's fine. I tried doing that the last couple months and it just didn't work all that well. It never does. You win some and you lose some, but I think everything's basically standard bear market right now. Views are down for people's YouTube channels. I have no views anyway, but like other people's, all the big YouTubers, their views are down, interest is down, Google searches are down. That pretty much means bear market. And one day, folks, you're just gonna wake up and everything's gonna shoot up and we're gonna be in a bull market. So you want to make sure you have money in the game. But everything looks good to me. So let's see what happens. Let's monitor this. Let's see if we can get a pump of Bitcoin up to 42,000, and let's see if it gets rejected. Odds are it's going to get rejected at about $42,000 if we even get to $42,000. But those are the breaks. Eventually, we're going to get all-time highs, and everything's going to be great maybe next year or the year after. But right now, we're going to be in a range between 35,000 to 38,000 up to maybe 45,000. I don't see anything else happening unless we get some ETF news or who knows what news, or we just automatically turn bullish for some reason. But remember, folks, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now, so we could easily just get some bad news and just dump right back down to 30,000. But I say get it over with. Let's get the bad news. Let's get the dump down to 30,000. Let me deploy the rest of my funds and buy more Cardano and buy more Matic, and then I'm just going to hold for the next year or two, and I'm going to retire in 2024. Who's joining me?